Hello and good evening. How are we all, guys? I am feeling really terrible. I'm just checking I'm live on my phone. Yes, we have sound, we have video, we are good to go. I feel like the back of my throat. It's getting the tickle. It's getting the germy lurgy tickle. So I've just loaded up on high dosage of vitamin C, echinacea, paracetamol, all the things, and drinking lots of water to keep me going. I do not have time for the sickness bug. Too much to do. So, yeah, straight up, not feeling the greatest, but we are here. We are here. I keep to my commitments. I show up and I do what I say I'm going to do. So we have, what do we have? Four more, including tonight. We have four more Black History Month stories for you. And again, apologies for the throat. It's going to sound croaky at times. It is what it is. I've got on my big warm hoodie because, yeah, cold, man. Cold from head to toe. I'm not well. Right, let's just get into it. So tonight's story is about Miss Oprah Winfrey. And I'm reading from a couple of different places today. So I'll be jumping around. Feel free to leave any comments. And if you are watching on replay, hello, thank you for watching the replay. Go ahead and give me a hashtag replay or a little hello in the comments if you are not watching live, because I love to hear from you. And you guys matter to me. You really matter. So say hashtag replay or say hi. Okay, let's get into the story. So, tonight's story is about Miss Oprah Winfrey. Let me see, have I got her date? She was born in 1954. That much I can tell you. I don't have the date. I apologize. From an early age, Oprah Winfrey had a talent for speaking. Sorry, I was on the wrong screen. The future queen of daytime television was reciting poems by the time she was 3. And after a childhood marked by abuse and neglect, I mean some horrible abuse and some horrible neglect for a young lady that she went through. During her teen years, she moved in with her father, who encouraged her to read books and to focus on her education. While she was still at school in Nashville in Tennessee, she got a radio job and then moved to local television news and eventually becoming a news anchor while she was still in college. Yes, get it, girl. She hit a rough patch when she was demoted for getting too emotionally involved in her news stories, but she soon found her home in talk shows, and where her compassion and her empathy, they were an asset, not, something to be boxed up and put away. But yeah, her compassion and empathy were an asset, and her dynamic personality was unmistakable. In 1985, she transformed a Chicago area show into the Oprah Winfrey Show. And I'm going to tell you a bit more about that in a moment, about what happened during that show. And a year later, it was broadcast nationally across the whole of America. In 1986, she started her own production company, which is called Harpo Productions. If you don't know, Harpo Productions is Oprah reversed, Harpo. And she became the first woman of color in history to own and produce her own television show. And that is huge. First woman of color in history to own and produce her own television show. Oprah's career did not just stop at television, though. She has produced movies and plays and launched her own television network and even a magazine, O Magazine. She has written books and created the hugely influential Oprah's Book Club. She has won countless awards and was the first Black female billionaire in the United States of America. Yes, get it, girl. Oprah consistently uses her influence to help others Through her various charities, she provides funds for schools, communities, and families in need, and vulnerable young women and children all over the world. In in, twoof, I was going to say 2000, then I was going to say 20, and that became twoof. In 2013, President Barack Obama awarded her the highest civilian honor, which was the Presidential Medal of Freedom. I guess if she was in England, she'd be like a dame or get an OBE or something like that. Despite the hardships of her past, she used her gifts to build a strong career for herself, and she created a platform to effect real change in the world. Yes, she did. Tell you a little bit more about her. Let's go to another screen. So, Oprah, the name is synonymous with greatness, but her life hasn't always been one of successful talk shows, celebrity interviews, philanthropic work, and mass giveaways. That's how we know Oprah, in recent times, in recent years, right? Oprah was raised by her grandmother in rural Mississippi, with the cultural assumption being that she'd never elevate herself to anything more than being, a maid in a white household. That was that was the cultural assumption of black people during that time where she lived in a very rural place, was that you grow up, you go and be a maid. That's your, that's your, that's your career path. That's your aspirational path. So at the age of 7, Oprah left her grandmother's home to go and live with her mother in Milwaukee. And then sadly, at the tender age of 9, she was raped. And at 10, she endured molestation by 2 close family members. And then at the age of 14, she became pregnant. And this is a secret that she hid until the day of the child's delivery. So Oprah's baby was born premature, and the baby later sadly died due to complications. Oprah then went on to take this loss as a sign. And from that moment on, she dedicated herself to rising above her circumstances. She began her career on television in 1984, and she was hired to host a morning show called AM Chicago. And within a year, that show was renamed The Oprah Winfrey Show. In 1986, she fought her show's production team for the right to pay her staff higher wages, which ultimately led to Oprah Winfrey owning her own show, headed by her own production company, Harpo Studios. And it would go on to become the highest rated talk show ever in TV history. And Oprah made it her mission to validate women, to give them a voice, and to ensure that her program make the statement "You matter" to women viewers around the country. So Oprah's, I guess, her mission or her statement or her thing was to remind women that you matter. Oprah Winfrey would later go on to fund women's educational centres around the globe and to launch her own cable network in 2011 called OWN, OWN, Oprah Winfrey Network. Brilliant. If ever there was a woman who represented a phoenix rising from the ashes, Oprah Winfrey is most definitely her. So there we go. That was the quickest summation of Oprah Winfrey's life that I could do for you in under 10 minutes. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked it. We have 29, 30, three more stories to go until the end of the month. I hope you'll join me for the rest of them. I'm going to bow out gracefully, go and lie this sick body that's trying to be taken over by the lurgies and the germs. I'm going to put myself to bed. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put myself to bed. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every single one of you. And I'll be back again tomorrow. Bye, guys.